Budget.
All right, so beginning in, or on page 2, we're discussing the water fund. The Public Service Commission of Wisconsin establishes your water rates. You gain new customers every year. So the unfortunate part about how PSC compels you to manage, is you're always chasing rates. And when you're a system that's the size of ours and you don't have a ton of customers, you will run into some cash management issues. And at some point, a couple of years from now, we're gonna run into some cash management issues with this. And what is balancing that for us right now is impact fee retainage that you're getting ready to spend out in this budget proposal on East Main Street reconstruction. So there's nothing you can do about that. It is what it is, and PSC holds the cards. They did just send us a letter 3 months ago that said, hey, it's been a substantial time period since you've had a rate increase. We're recommending that you apply for abbreviated rate case. So they're saying you're not charging enough to maintain your system. So that is in process to run through on a 3% rate increase, and that's what we've incorporated here into the budget document as a 3% rate increase on your water service and volume charges. So you continue to gain revenue that is largely due to new users. So if you look back, 2023 you brought in 698,000, 2024 741,000. We budgeted 708 because when we looked at this in June of 24, we didn't have full capture of the data for those new users. And if you look at where you're at year to date 2025, you're showing 435. 287 in water service and volume charges. You do have a rollover, so the first half of the year looks bigger than what the second half of the year does. So no, that's not going to net out to 870. We think somewhere in the ballpark of 460, 470. I'm sorry, 760, 770 by the time we're done with the year. So that's what we budgeted for 2026. You do have some interest income. We anticipate that's going to drop in the next year. The Fed is in what appears to be a rate cutting cycle right now, and we hold all short dated 90-day T-bills, or equivalent in our investment account. So, a year ago we were picking up 5-ish% on our investments. Now this morning I looked at it, 4.11 as our average yield. So we're budgeting less water impact fees also, and debt proceeds of $2.195 million. That is your well project. Other things that we're working on is a bit of a restructure. So you're going to see legislative as a category for the first time. We've asked the board and Adam to create a utilities commission. I've talked to some of you about that, but the DPW committee really needs to be split into 3 different components. A utilities commission, a parks and facilities committee, and then a streets committee. And so this year's budget setup teases apart the budget on those lines. So this is kind of a multi-year process, and one of the things that's driving that thought process is Rick Henning has the entire system in his head, all of it, and at some point Rick's going to retire. And so, whereas he's kind of grown along with the system as this all changed, as we bring in new people or promote existing staff up into leadership roles, their capacity to grab a hold of it really needs to be focused. So we're looking 5 or 8 years down the road and making these changes now, so that that's not a hard transition when we get there, and we'll have a good data series because we're capturing all of it along the way. There's really nothing else that is of remark within the water operations budget. So page 2 and 3, any questions on any of that there? And if not, I'm just going to keep rolling along. Page number 4 is water capital. Your role is to ask technical questions, not financing questions necessarily. That's really through the finance committee. So, Rick is the one that largely proposes these things from time to time. Zeke puts some things in here because I can see them coming down the road. You have a 5-year water and sewer capital plan that runs separate from the village's overall capital budget that's supported by taxpayer monies. East Main Street, we've got a placeholder number in there of $401,000. We won't have that dialed in until we get bids back on the project. Hopefully the engineers are there. The finance committee, via a motion from Don Houston, made a recommendation supported by the finance committee to eliminate a back truck. We'll see that when we get to sewer But your system related capital outlay should be, do we need this or not? Those are questions that you guys should ask Rick. Rick, why do we need to spend money on X, Y, Z? And then ultimately it's up to Fred to attend the village board meeting and articulate, hey, this is the budget our committee's reviewed and proposed, and this is what we're recommending or not. It's the finance committee's role to determine how that's going to be financed. Are we going to spend cash on hand? Are we going to borrow money for it? It's going to be short-term borrow, long-term borrow. Are we going to borrow between funds? Right. That's what a finance committee. Well, yeah, your job is, hey, do we need it or not?
Yeah.
Right. So I think when everybody's got clearly defined roles and responsibilities, we all do better. So page 5 is the sewer system.
I had a question. What's the
Sure.
heavy equipment?
Where are you reading that one? Which sheet or what page?
On the water
Page
capital
4.
improvement.
3 above
funding
the
plan.
red.
I bet that is the mini X.
Yeah, we split that last year.
Yeah, half of it's coded to water, half of it's coded to sewer.
Okay.
So it's basically it's a excavator.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
I was trying to think of the word there.
yeah, mini X.
Mini X. So we can get down and deal with water breaks, sewer breaks, and right.
Because I didn't see anything going forward 27, 30. So that's
Water tower.
just more. Well, the heavy equipment's just more or less
Yeah,
one-off
Yeah.
type of.
Yeah.
Right.
So page 5 is sewer operations. With that again, your rate income continues to grow as a combination of rate adjustments and new customers coming online. There is a internal loan that the sewer system made to the docks fund. It's a minor fund. And so you're earning a 6% return on that right now. We were oversubscribed for slips this year, so we had an additional $2,000 in income that we did not budget for. That was a pleasant surprise. And this coming year, pending cleaning up some regulatory matters, I think we will have up to another 3 slips that we can lease out. So maybe we can pump that income up another $5,000-6,000 on docks. Michelle and I would like to see this paid back more quickly so that we can repurpose these monies elsewhere to benefit the waterway and parks. But right now it's got to pay the sewer system back. We have now, we used to do allocations of all of our DPW employees, and at this point we're doing individual persons assigned to each fund. It's easier for us to track that, and it also reflects the specialization that different staff have. Page 6, again, there's nothing that's really groundbreaking here. Your capital outlay is all laid out. So if you look at your gross income or losses, it's showing you with a negative $616,000 pull against your fund balance. However, you've got $596,000 in capital outlay, so it's almost a wash, right? And effectively your cash is being contributed into capital, so it's going to show up on your balance sheet as contribute or not contributing capital. Other things, I talked earlier about the impending retirement TBD with Kathy Lindblom last year. This committee, the Finance Committee and Village Board, approved a kiosk. Former President Houston has always been philosophically opposed to a kiosk as long as I've known him, unless you all at some point plan to come volunteer at Village Hall to take payments. We will need someone to do that or something to do that. That was the idea behind the kiosk. And that if we're going to eliminate a full-time position for budgetary reasons and make that a part-time position that handles rec-related stuff and court-related stuff, then maybe an automated kiosk is a good thing. So I'm not going to ask for it this year. We'll just take the pass in 2026. We've got plenty of other things to work on, but it is going to come back up again in 2027.
What would be the objection to it? Just the cost of it?
Don believes that every customer that comes in should be greeted by a human being, and that you should always get a human being, and it's a philosophical thing.
Sure.
That's really
Okay.
it. More of our customers continue to push online and automated. That percentage has grown. But we're basically maintaining a full-time position with benefits for the possibility that someone might walk in. Right. And over time, it just doesn't.
Less and less.
It just doesn't make sense to do
It's
that.
just for old people.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
I'm one of them.
What it is.
I do it online.
Yeah, I'm one of them.
I know
Yep.
because otherwise I'll just sit on a computer at home and pay the damn.
What,
Yeah.
you know, what I would like to see us go towards is, hours that are dependably open, so that when you do need that human and that face-to-face interaction, we have a scheduled time for you to,
Right.
hey, we're
That's
here.
a
But
good
right
idea.
now, what we're trying to do is run it like McDonald's, so that we're, hey, any hour that Village Hall is here, we're here to deal with whatever it is, which, we ran into some problems 7 years ago with a different employee, in that when you're doing detailed accounting work, and you have to stop what you're doing, get up, go to the counter, you lose track of where you were, and
Right.
money started not being where money was supposed to be, and it was like, no more. You need a cashier, it's a cashier function, and you need a billing clerk, it's a billing clerk function, and it's really hard to do both. At any rate, going
Okay,
on.
page 7,
Oh, yep,
the $250,000 back truck.
yes, sir. So, recommendation from Finance Committee to pull that out. You all can concur with that recommendation or not concur with that recommendation. This is on Rick, and it's not 250. This is the draft that went to the Finance Committee. It's 450. 430, sorry.
I wanna quickly interject before you go forward. For anybody that was at that meeting, I was the lone no vote on that, because I believe what you said earlier matters. I am there to help make the financial decisions if we are told we need that. So I think it is beneficial that Rick explains why it's needed, or why we can hold off on it yet, or just the whole process. I'm not educated enough on that to
Can we
make
take
what
a field
else somebody
trip?
does.
Yep.
Let's take a field trip.
Well, that's good.
I wasn't, that was not where I was going.
Yeah.
I'm just